I assume we're streaming now. I'll just start talking because I'm going to assume that we are streaming. So, how you doing, folks? I thought I'd come on today and just read some news. I'm going to be reading news basically off ground news. So I'll tell you a little story. It's just a story. It's not really that interesting, but there used to be a website that did exactly what ground news did. And when I first started this podcast, I reached out to them and asked if I could use their service on my podcast, and they said, absolutely, here, have a premium membership. And I was never able to get the premium membership to work. I don't know what happened to that service. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. Now that Ground News has come along, I kind of hope that some of the same people are involved. They were a European company, and I really hope some of the same people are involved and they just worked out the bugs, because Ground News is nothing new. This is not like a revolutionary idea. There were other people doing it. They didn't quite manage to monetize it. It really wouldn't surprise me if the other website, which I wish I could remember their name, but I cannot. But yeah, it really wouldn't be surprised if they got closed down and by the same people who set up Ground News. So I'm not going to pay for Ground News until I can confirm that. Anyway, my hope is that we can get through this episode without mentioning the Jews for once. Just one episode without mentioning the Jews. All right, first story. Israel. God damn it. What is this?
Again, but I know what'll make you feel better.
Oh no, not another box of dogs!
It's another box of dogs!
All right, let's see if we can get this. We've got to get back to the main page here. Yeah, Israeli military kills 15-year-old Palestinian in West Bank, health ministry says. They can't help themselves, these guys. Even when they're being bombed, their favorite thing is just to keep killing people. They killed 3 people. I've got the story here somewhere. Hang on, I'll switch back to that for a moment. I was going through stories. I'm looking at world news initially, and then it says check out local news. And I open the local news, and it's all football. Everything's football here in Melbourne. Oh, the Bombers are going to have a tough season. When have they had a good season? When have Essendon since they stopped them from taking drugs, which is un-Australian in my opinion, when have they had a good season? Anyway, we've got lots of stuff here. There is a bit of other stuff. Eastern Freeway closure, impact, guidance, and next steps. They're never going to finish that freeway. It's been... Well, the Southeastern, anyway, has been screwed for ages. So now they're closing the Eastern. That's brilliant. That's great. That's going to help so much. Well done. We have one of the worst governments in the you fried? Oh, well, of course I'm fried. Probably. I'm probably fried. I don't know, man. Like, we have one of the worst governments in the world. They are just vampires. And we need to get out our steaks and garlic and have a barbecue. They suck. Trump news. This is fun. Trump extends pause on attacking Iran energy facilities to April 6th. He's just going to keep pausing it until he finally... here's an interesting one. Trump says he can use mail-in ballots because I'm president. he's not wrong. George Bush kind of set the precedent when he said, if the president does it, it's not illegal. Trump's just stepping in and going, right, I see what you guys are up to. I'm just not going to be subtle about it. I'm just going to openly be a dick and a shit see. I'm going to try to, try to behave myself a bit today. I'm not drinking, so there is hope. I tried. Yeah, I tried. I tried to get through it without mentioning the Jews, but you just can't do it. They're everywhere. Anyway. Thanks for joining, Jake. I'm glad to see you, mate. Trump says he can use mail-in ballots because I'm president. I'm president. I do what I want. President Cartman defended his decision to vote by mail in a Florida special election, saying his responsibilities as president made in-person voting impractical. Oh, so he used a mail-in ballot. Okay. Trump has frequently called mail-in voting cheating, and critics have derided him this week for double standards in casting a mail-in ballot. You see, with everything Trump does, when he does it, it's good. Trump said his mail-in ballot qualified as an exception because he was away in Washington, D.C., but he argues against universal mail-in voting, saying it is highly susceptible to fraud. Good old honest Don. Because I'm president, I'm busy. I'm busy, baby. What a legend. What an absolute legend. News about Donald Trump. Anyway, let's go through some Melbourne news. Melbourne suburb plagued by arson attacks, shooting as tobacco wars rage, or war rages. The city's northwest has become a vicious battleground for illegal tobacco, with the fresh round of violence erupting following the arrest of Kaz Hamad. This is another thing that the Australian government could end overnight. They could stop this like that, like instantly stop this by simply, reducing getting rid of the excise on tobacco. They could end this overnight. But they won't, because they are addicted to ripping us off. You know when you rip people off and it gets exciting as how much you can rip them off and how much they'll take? That's what they're doing at the moment. They're like, how much can we abuse these people? And how much will they take? And it turns out we'll take it. But we will get cheap tobacco from the tobacco. They're not even trying. There's a tobacco shop up the street. All they sell is illegal tobacco. They're open till 2 a.m. In Ferntree Gully, it makes no sense to have a tobacco store open till 2 a.m. There's no one around. I suspect they might be selling something else. But do they do anything about it? Of course not. They want this to keep going. It's fucking... It's ridiculous. We're getting charged the highest prices for petrol in the world. We've had the highest of all the countries and all these people. Diversity in Melbourne. Yeah. Diversity is Melbourne's greatest strength. It is. I feel stronger every time I go out now and see the world being run by criminals. I feel so strong. I feel so strong. Don't you feel strong, Jake? Aren't we just... the strength. I don't know if I can handle much more strength. Carroll College to overturn 32-year ban on students walking to school. A misunderstanding between the Catholic secondary school and the local council led to 3-decade ban. A misunderstanding. That's insane. Well, we had a misunderstanding, and so kids haven't been allowed. We don't want kids walking. It's the last thing we want. Students at Coastal Secondary College, get ready to walk to school for the first time. For the first time! So there's kids that went through their entire education without being allowed to walk to school. Parents, just the traffic in that section was just insane. In short, high school students on the New South Wales far south coast will soon be able to walk. That's a miracle. That, like, they were probably all just blobs, couldn't walk, and cycle. Oh, man. These people are so generous. To Carroll College in Bruley for the first time since the school opened. It follows a bodella Shire Council. God, we've got ridiculous fucking names in this country. Bodella Shire Council that overturned a historic council motion and agreed to a pedestrian access trial. I don't think we should let these children walk. What will that lead to? They'll enter the manosphere and take the red pill if they start walking. We need to keep them as helpless blobs so we can cut their cocks off. Carroll College is hoping students will be able to walk and ride to school for the next term. That's insane. This guy is smiling about it. Yes. Walk to school. Man. Oh, fuck Australia. I hate this country so much. I really do. I know you're supposed to, like, stay here and make your country better, but I can't wait to leave this shithole. I fucking hate it. Either that. I think the police and the state government, police run the illegal. Yeah, absolutely they do. They run everything illegal. They have a hand in it all. They have, I can tell you firsthand that the police have a huge hand in all of the. Like, I used to do so much in that world. I used to live in that world. And the police are at every fucking level. I can tell you from first-hand experience. Our police are as corrupt as they come. They are filthy fucking little piglets. You pedalled 5Ks to school. Yeah, I used to walk 2Ks there and back every day. And then when I came to Melbourne, I got public transport. We'd go to school in the morning, walk home at lunch, walk back to school after lunch, then walk home from school. That's just what we did. We'd get dropped off at school in the morning sometimes, and that was it. We, it's good. It's a good way to start the day. But anyway, a misunderstanding. It's unbelievable. Well, we had a misunderstanding, you see. We thought that having them walk to school would lead to them having sex and doing drugs, and it could lead to dancing. Fuck these people. The sooner we do something about this shitty government, the better. Actually, yeah, I'm going to play this. Just going to play this just because, Alright, I need to refresh that page. And, yeah. This is just, I've played this many times before, but I'm going to play it again just because this is the answer.
And what about politics?
I don't give a shit.
You don't find it a great
I really don't care
treasure
about politics.
trove of
Some people
material?
do. I don't. I think the system is corrupt. Every time I'm walking on the street, somebody's like, hey, vote for so-and-so. I'm like, it's all corrupt. Anarchy is the only way we're going to change anything. Violence. Kill a politician. That's the only way you can change shit.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're joking.
No.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, voting is not going to make a difference. It has never. Not in 100 years.
So what would you like to see?
I'd like to see some politicians start getting murdered and reform this government.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
One that's not corrupted. I'd like to get business out of government, and they're not going to do it. So the only way to do that is start killing people.
Isn't that exactly what you
Look around the
don't
world.
want?
How has anything changed around the world?
It's
How has any
absolutely
regime
true.
change happen around the world? Violence. That's the only way. You think people in Arab countries are that much different than us?
Yeah.
Violence. That's the only way you depose a system that doesn't represent the people anymore.
I mean, I think the wonderful thing about the United States is that we can vote, and you do change
Your
administration.
vote doesn't go anywhere. Your vote doesn't do anything.
We're never going to vote our way out of this. We cannot. You cannot. I don't know if people are ever going to come to understand this, the reality that we cannot vote our way out of this. There is no alternative party that's going to do better. They step into the same system and they run the same games and nothing ever changes. Violent revolution is the only way forward. That's just the reality.
Yes, it does.
You can now be arrested and never tried if they say you're a terrorist.
In Australia, they can now alter files on your phone, delete files on your phone, or add files on your phone. This is why every time I see someone has been arrested as a PDF file, I go, oh, really? Really? Can I see some evidence? Because they can just access your shit and put whatever they want on there. And whenever it's someone, you know, doing that shit, oh, they've been arrested, it's always someone quite rich and powerful. They don't go after the actual PDF files. They don't go after that. They only go after people that they want to get rid of. Hey, Sandy. It's a ridiculous system, and we need to change it. The only way is with violence. This is the only way
Ever
it's going
tried
to
in your
change.
life? Just arrested and held forever. Who voted for that?
So shoot them all.
No, not shoot them all. Start shooting them until they get business out of politics and they start representing who we are instead of their money interests.
Maybe I should play your video that you just sent me, Sandy.
Yeah, violence.
no, I
That's
won't
the
do
only
that.
way shit changes, man.
Okay.
Look at history.
Yeah, you're right. Government is a puppet show. They're not in charge. But they can be. They can be in charge. They absolutely can be in charge. It just requires a bit of killing, a bit of kicking people out, a bit of getting rid of the scum, and we go back to a system of self-governance.
Tell me when a regime has changed with voting. I mean, I know.
I mean,
I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm not
putting you on the spot.
trying-
That's not fair because you haven't studied this stuff.
Well, no, I'm not trying to, murder politicians. I'm not trying to do what I don't like that others do that I would like to change, so I will shoot somebody because I'm pissed off that they're shooting somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not the way that I think, but that's fine. We think differently.
I think even if you don't want to shoot somebody, don't vote. Voting is you complicitly saying, I support this system, and I don't support it anymore. I don't. We're killing people in Yemen. We're murdering families in Yemen that aren't associated with any sort of terrorist thing. It was just an oopsie when we killed a wedding party. And Obama, the fucking hope change guy, just refused to comment on it. That's cool. Do what you want. It's not going to change. Your voting is not going to change that. I know one way that it'll change. I can look at history and tell you this is the way things change. Look at whenever a black guy gets shot. It's like, oh, it's bad. If this is a riot, no one comments on it. Those things go under the radar. When there's a riot in Baltimore, it's like, hold on, we've got to rethink the system here in Baltimore because people went crazy. That's just in history, here and elsewhere. That's the only way shit changes.
All right, we'll agree to disagree on that.
And I guarantee the only thing they're going to show from this clip is Ari Shaffir doesn't say Amy Schumer is the most funny comic in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of sad but true, but that is the system we're in, and it is the only way it's going to change. We know what we've got to do. We just got to organize to get this done. Now is the perfect time to do it, really, because there is a whole war going on. Iran are fighting these people on our behalf as much as anyone else. I mean, they're fighting for themselves, but they're releasing all this stuff. It's going, look at how corrupt and horrible. We're going to set you free. They're not interested in that, but that's the propaganda they're sending out. So if we did rise up right now, it'd kind of be the perfect time. It'd be like it'd make a great movie. This one's very interesting. We'll get back to the news in a second. But this is, people will choose authoritarianism pretty much every time.
Including what if you had to choose between living under lawless anarchy or authoritarian oppression, which would you choose? I found this is a very interesting question to ask people, and it says a lot about your personality. Just to flesh out the details a little bit, both of these situations are roughly equal in terms of economic opportunity. In other words, one country is not richer than the other. So you have a choice between a system where there is no strong central authority, and if there is a crime and you call the police, they probably will not arrive at all. So crime is high, and protecting yourself is largely your responsibility. You have to have bars on your doors and windows. But there's also a very high degree of personal freedom. The government largely is not interfering with your situation.
Sounds
you can largely do what you want and build what you want and behave how you want. And if somebody stops you, it's not going to be the government. So you have a choice between that and a situation where the government is so oppressive that there basically is no crime. But also there are tight government controls over everything, including what kind of haircut you can have, what religion you worship. You are not allowed to speak out against the government, and in fact the government has a lot of say over how you express yourself in general, including how you dress. In our hypothetical, you have only these two options. You have a very clean and orderly country under oppression, or you have a high degree of personal freedom but in a situation where there is a lot of chaos and anarchy. It is my personal...
So you have personal freedom, which comes with personal responsibility, or no responsibility and no freedom. Because that's what responsibility is.
observation that the vast majority of people, at least in the United States, if they had to choose between those two, would choose the authoritarian government. And if they ever get into a situation where they sense the country tilting in one direction or the other, they fear the anarchy much more than they fear authoritarianism. I feel like this is rooted in human nature because under an authoritarian government, at least in that situation, you know what to expect.
No, this is rooted in letting women vote. That's what it is. Because women are naturally going to go, well, no, I need someone to protect me. Whereas men are much more likely to go, I'll get a gun. I'll shoot any fucker that comes near my family. We need to teach women to shoot. Everything is bullshit. Yeah. It is most likely, like, it's so hard to figure out what the hell is going on in the world right now with AI and just the amount of bullshit that comes out and people reposting things for clicks. I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't do this podcast as much as I could or I should. I don't even know if should is the right word. Definitely could, because I don't want to add to the noise. I don't want to add to like people staring at their screens, because window theory, not broken window theory is another thing, but window theory essentially says, like, for millions of years, our nervous systems and endocrine systems, everything about us, if we looked out a window and saw someone being murdered, we react with physical reaction to this. And we get involved. We either try to stop it, or we join in, but we act. It's fight or you hit fight or flight. And when you're looking at a TV screen or a computer screen or your phone screen, you can mentally be going, oh, this isn't real, so it's okay. But your entire nervous system is jacking up, going, this is fuck. I have to act. I have to act. And so we're being trained to ignore our instincts and our natural systems. And you get to the point where you're just so numbed out by it all. You can watch people being murdered on your screen and just go, it's fine. Saw a better one yesterday.
They figure that the rules may be oppressive, but they are also clear. You know exactly what you're supposed to do and not do. Whereas anarchy is unpredictable. You're at the mercy of people who are just mentally unwell.
But would they be mentally unwell in that system? I don't think so. I think we're getting more and more mentally unwell people in these authoritarian systems where the whole world is inverted, everything's upside down, everything's backwards. You're told what to do, told what to say, told what to think. You cannot react to anything how you would normally react. It's like that meme. There's the doctor sitting there and she goes, tell me about your perfectly rational reactions to the world so I can medicate you and addict you to these drugs for the rest of your life. That's what's causing more mental illness. If we were living in a free society where it was up to you to protect yourself, first of all, if we just switched to that society, you would burn through so much detritus so quickly. It would just be over so quickly. In 6 months, we'd have a rational, functioning, self-governing society. Because all of the crazies would be dead. And that would be a great fucking solution.
highly emotionally unbalanced. Most people, whether they admit it or not, would prefer to see their streets taken over by armed agents of the state than to see their streets taken over by looters or rioters.
The problem with this whole premise is he's coming from a point of, well, this is the world we're in now, and that's the world we're going to switch to. Silicon Valley is run by the intelligence. If you see it, then they want you to see it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all, everything we're shown for a reason. We're shown horrors and nightmares every day so that we will be desensitized to it, so that when it happens to us, we're just like, well, people will accept it. Your neighbors won't come and rescue you. You know all those movies where someone's thrown in jail? Axel's made this point many times. Someone's thrown in jail and their friends all gang up and go and get them out of jail. They bust them out of jail. That's never going to happen. We don't live in that world anymore. Everyone's now so paranoid and so jacked up and so numb that it's like, well, they must have done something. And it's not my business. And I don't want to be, I don't want to get involved. It is nuts.
To the point that they will actually tolerate a certain degree of rioting and looting at the hands of the state if they think they are still keeping true chaos at bay. In the United States, it is not popular to admit this.
Yeah, so there we have it. But, I mean, I've known... Yeah, programmed helplessness, exactly. It is absolutely that. And we've known this for some time. We've known that that's what's going on. Oh, boy. Call to label domestic violence a public health crisis. Historic dismissal of gendered violence has meant it has not been prioritized as a public health issue, but a Melbourne medical student wants to change that. Fuck off. When has this... Oh, we're not taking it seriously enough. We're not yelling at people enough about domestic violence. There hasn't been enough ads about domestic violence. There's just not enough being done. This little cocksucker's trying to get some money raised, trying to build himself a career. Domestic violence has gone down. It's less and less. One is too many. What did she do? Or what did he do? What did they do? Can we get the whole fucking story? No, someone got a black eye, so we need to step in and take away all your rights. This is exactly how they do it. I want to find that fucking medical student. I bet it's that little fucking Vietnamese pervert sitting in toilets filming 150 girls in toilets. Because, you know, we all need a hobby. But this little pervert's now coming out and going, I was just studying domestic violence. These people are just shitty. They're just, oh, look, a picture. Look at that photo. Ooh, doesn't that just make you go, ooh, he's dark and abusive. He's probably a narcissist. Or a sociopath, or another fucking buzzword. Call to label domestic violence a public health crisis. What is wrong with these people? Domestic violence has gone down. Gendered violence. So what do they do about it's gendered violence? That's the problem. It's gendered violence. So what do they do about gay couples? What do they do about lesbian couples, which is the highest in all the domestic violence issues? Lesbians have the highest fucking stats because they're both women, and neither of them will shut the fuck up. Gendered violence must be recognized as preventable. Yeah, get guns. Give everyone guns. That'll prevent it. Says a scholarship-winning student, as she, of course, joins a next-generation chorus of doctors urging governments to respond to the crisis. We've got a crisis. Can we deal with this crisis? No, we got a fucking crisis. Diesel's currently at $3.20 and it's only going up. Bitch, shut up. You're going to fucking experience gendered violence firsthand. Fucking unbelievable. Gender-based abuse is the leading cause of death and disability for Australian women between the ages of 18 and 44. Well, I don't believe that stat at all. I just don't believe that. You know, I need to see more. I need to see a bit more than just a single fucking sentence. Show me the fucking stats and let's really dig into them. Because a lot of those, so I bet, death and disability in the same thing. So death and disability, they're now the same thing. So they cover the same stats. And what is the disability? Well, now I can't go out because I don't like going out. Now that's a disability. Well, now whenever I go out, I get anxiety. That's a disability. Was that a pre-existing condition? Who knows? No, these fucking people, they fudge the stats all the time. This is bullshit. One each week is killed by a current or former partner. One what? One woman each week. Again, I need more than that. I've heard these fucking stats. I've heard it said one a day, one a week. One, like, they just... And again, maybe they should learn to shut the fuck up occasionally. Like, seriously. Take some fuck... Oh, I'm sick of this fucking Perth now. Fuck off, Perth now. I can't read that bullshit. I hate the way they manipulate the stats and they change it and they do this and that. How many men kill themselves because of this? Like, but no, that doesn't count. I'm guessing it's way more than one a week. Fucking... Unbelievable. Just give us all guns and let us sort our own shit out. No taxes. Oh, this looks like a really important story, and I think this. Yeah, they forgot their safe word. Having the gay furry sex, and they just forgot to say traffic light or whatever the fuck they say. I fucked up. My safe word was deeper, harder. Anyway, that's such an old joke. I'm sorry for that. That is just a. I think Norm said his was more. My safe word was more. No, I think this is a story that we all need to hear, though. Especially right now, with fuel prices, no one being able to afford a house, and fuel prices being what they are. This is the story we all need to hear. 100% of the sources lean left. Fuck yeah. Being ultra wealthy isn't as fun as you think. Just ask the ultra wealthy. This has got to be a fucking... Please tell me this is a parody. Rich people have less to worry about, right? Sure, but scratch a little deeper and you might end up feeling sorry for the private jet set. Yeah, let's dig into this, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to feel real sorry for these. Jacqueline Maley, should we check her early life section? Can someone check the early life section of a Jacqueline Maley? Being ultra wealthy isn't as fun as you think. Just ask the ultra wealthy. This has got to be a fucking a backhanded thing. It's got to be. This could be fun. Pauline Hanson has been somewhat slow or forgetful in declaring the flights she has taken in private jet belonging to Australia's richest woman, billionaire Gina Rinehart. In February, when Hanson was asked by reporters if she had received any free Gina-funded flights to travel to an event in Geelong, she said she couldn't remember. Who's taking a private jet to Geelong? That woman is such a fraud. Fucking... Please explain. That afternoon, her memory sparked. She updated her register of interests to include a Melbourne to Sydney flight on Rinehart's dime. Several other flights gifted by the billionaire have been declared outside the Senate's 35-day period for disclosure. Little slow on your paperwork. That's all right. I can relate to that. I'm a little slow on my paperwork as well. Look how unhappy they look. Look at them. When asked about the free flights, Hanson tetchily points out that she is taking pressure off the taxpayer by having her flights paid for privately. It must require a high tolerance for cognitive dissonance. To found a movement on taking the fight to the elites, while simultaneously taking flights from the elites. But like all populist movements, one nation needs to stay within calling distance of wealthy donors. Damn right they do. They pay their bills. It's all corrupt. I mean, this is a hit piece on Pauline, but she did this shit. She did it. So she's going to get the hit pieces. You know, she's going to get called out for this shit. Last thing I saw about this was like her going to Thailand and having lunch in Thailand with Gina Rinehart. And, you know, when a billionaire mining magnate who inherited her billions, didn't work for it, just inherited it. When she's your bestie, I don't think they're going to get hit with a lot of taxes. I'd love to see a fucking politician get in, go through all this bullshit, and everyone's thinking, oh, they're going to be exactly the same, and then they go in and they just go full Hitler. Because you're never going to get in if if you're out there promising all the things that Hitler promised. And I'm not talking about the JQ. I'm talking about all the other shit that he did. The Trump administration has woven billionaire donors and backers into the fabric of its administration like never before in history. The major donor to Reform UK, the Nigel Farage vanity vehicle that Hanson hopes to emulate, is Christopher Harborne, a Thailand-based British billionaire and cryptocurrency investor. Farage has promised that his party would turn the UK into a cryptocurrency hub, slashing capital gains tax on it. Harborne says he has not asked for anything in return for his donations. No, of course not. No, you don't. You just, like, I always do that. I give people money. I actually do give people money with no expectations, but I don't give them billions of dollars. It's $20, $50, but whatever. It's not. Fuck me, this is unbelievable. Suddenly the world seems to be teeming with the ultra-rich, from those who project wealth on social media to tech bro billionaires who actually make wealth through social media, to the brief but catastrophic intrusion of Elon Musk. Oh, they hate these people. The world's richest man. He's not the world's richest man. Stop calling him the world's richest man. He is far from the world's richest man. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Bro, they have to employ people to clean the bottom of their multi-million-dollar boats. Have some compassion. That is true. That is true. That is a problem I don't have. It's still hard to read. I'm going to switch over to this. How are you, Jax? They do have to, yeah. And they have to get people to clean their toilets. That's tough. People probably picking the gold out of their shit. That's brutal. No, you just want to flush that away. Get in the sewer like a normal person. Elon Musk is not the world's richest man. That's such a false fucking narrative. They're pushing Elon Musk as this, I'm rich and based. He's not rich. He's not based. He's a piece of shit. Elon Musk is just a fucking... He would sell you out for a fucking sandwich. He's a garbage human being. He doesn't deserve the adoration that he gets. He should be mocked relentlessly because he's nothing but a geek and a fucking nerd. And geeks and nerds should not be allowed to run the world. Look at what's happened to the world since we've allowed geeks and nerds to run the world. It's horrible. The meme king. The world's richest meme king. That's what he should be called. The world's richest meme is what he should be called. I would like to know who did his hair transplant, though. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, into the US government. And then there is, in popular culture, television shows like Succession and the new JFK Jr., Carolyn Bessette veneration vehicle, Love Story, which throws fame on the bonfire of family money. Yeah, because that's what we all need to be distracted by. How do rich people form lasting relationships? That's the thing that concerns me when I'm out there getting ripped off by the ultra rich. I just want to know, how do they form lasting relationships? What about a billionaire version of Married at First Sight and they just end up suing each other into oblivion? That'd be fun. I'd watch that. And then they hunt each other on an island. I'd totally watch that. Billionaires hunting each other. Last billionaire standing. But it is the shudder and rage-inducing Epstein files that offer the best possible, by which I mean the bleakest possible, illustration of the moral hazard of extreme wealth. Priapic cruelty and wealth-enabled predation were not just features of Epstein's lifestyle, they were its defining traits. I like this woman writing this article. She's making some good points. Priapic's a great word. It means like an eternal hard-on. I had a friend who had a priapism, and he said it was the most painful thing he'd ever been through. Because the only way they can get... I'm not even going to describe it. It's so fucking disturbing. All the people, chiefly powerful men named in the Epstein files, were drawn into this web through a system of grace and favor that was fundamentally transactional. Epstein offered the trappings and ineffable glamour of extreme wealth. He offered houses, rich dinners, entry into exclusive private schools and colleges, trips to his private island, yachts, luxury stays in houses abroad, and access to other powerful people. In return, he required their silence. Or as it is better termed in the world of the ultra-wealthy, discretion. It was granted. The thing about Epstein's interesting. Whitney Webb said he was middle management, which is an interesting perspective. I haven't read her book, or books, rather, One Nation Under Blackmail, but I kind of would like to read it. I think, if anything, he's upper middle management. But yeah, I don't think he was really on the high end of all this stuff. He was, like a manager. It's very interesting. But all this stuff, when they would do this stuff, they're making, these people are making deals. They meet, they have these meetings, they get together, they make all these deals. And if you're doing an arms deal, for example, with someone that you've never done business with before, and you're like, how do I know I can trust you? You do something so foul and disgusting as the kind of things they did with Epstein. So now you've got something on each other. So if one of you burns, the other burns. And now you have a kind of a messed up trust. It's just how they work. Anyway. And that Epstein stuff is fucking wild. I haven't really gone into it a lot because so many other people are covering it. I looked at the Epstein files a few times. There's some, like, I just wondered, did Epstein just sit around emailing all day? There's like so many emails. What the fuck, man? Of course, not all ultra wealthy are pedophile pals or brats. In fact, scratch a little deeper and you might end up feeling sorry for the private jet set. Yeah, we should probably. Because, it's hard to get good slaves these days. Recently, New York Magazine ran a fascinating feature about the seriously moneyed entitled, "What Does Extra Wealth Do to the Brain?" The question has special potency in the United States, where the number of billionaires has tripled since 2010. If you want to see a good movie about what it does to the brain, watch The Counselor. That's basically what the film is about. Like, when you've got all the money in the world, what do you do to get off? And the things they do, a little bit messed up. A little bit FUBAR. Its author interviewed high net worth individuals about how their mindsets were changed by their money. As you would expect, there is a divergence between people who made their own money and those who inherited it. The Lucky Sperm Club. The Lucky Sperm Club. Can you imagine being a member of the Lucky Sperm Club? Do you get a little badge? Do you get a t-shirt? I'm a member of the Lucky Sperm Club. As per self-made billionaire Warren Buffett. The latter are more likely to struggle with feelings of low self-worth and a lack of internal drive that has them drifting between jobs. Well, because, I guess lucky sperm just aren't that lucky. But you've got everything going for you to do whatever the hell you want. Go out and do something for your fellow man. That's where meaning comes from. Put your money into helping people. But you don't, do you? The self-made centimillionaires and billionaires are confident they could make all the money again if they lost it. And they are paranoid about losing it. In 2011, Australian rich lister Jerry Harvey told the Australian Financial Review he has a deep terror of losing his money and having to rely on handouts like his parents did. His dad lost all his money and both parents ended up on the pensions. Now, look, someone who had just made a few $1 million and whatever, if they lost it all, I'd say they could, they could probably build it again. But someone like Jerry Harvey, he's a little bit old. He grew up in a world that is entirely different to what the world is now. It seems like the only way to get rich now is to go online and be an online coach for young men and tell them to grind and hustle. That's pretty much it. That's the best way to get ahead. Grind and hustle. Rise and grind. Epstein is just the face of so much criminality and an example of how morally bankrupt human beings can potentially exist. Yeah, it is. It's a necessary. It's necessary. And how are you, Rodders? Good to see you, mate. It is like when you face yourself and you start to do the shadow work and whatever, you see, like, you understand the potential of what you could do given endless possibilities, given endless resources, the things that you could do yourself. But you just wouldn't. Because why would you? Why would you degrade your own soul in that way? But these people, I don't know, they live in a different reality. I've always said we all live in different realities. It is kind of crazy the degree to which we all live in separate realities. So, I think people that live in our reality need to gang up against people that live in their reality and end their reality. So if you're boinking kids and eating babies, that's not good. That's probably the worst thing you can do. Maybe it's not the worst thing you can do. Maybe I just haven't thought about it. I guess if you R-word the babies first, that's the word. I don't know. I don't really want to think about it, to be honest. He also was terrified his wife would leave him. Why? There's a picture. I'll show you. All right, I'll show you the picture, and I'll show you why I'm saying why. Why would you be terrified that this bint would leave you? Oh yeah, you don't want her to leave you, Jerry. Yeah, you could never get a younger, hotter woman. You don't want that one leaving you. I don't know. Maybe she's a good woman. She's a good woman who sacrificed and stayed with a billionaire. That's how it works. That's how it works in the real world. That's how it goes down on the streets. The 2011 Australian rich lister. Oh, I read that already. He's also terrified his wife would leave him. My secret fear is that my wife will leave me when I get really old, he told the Financial Review. When I've got dementia and I'm dribbling, she'll put me in a home and the kids will say, we don't have to visit him again, do we? Yay! Why else would they put you in a home? That's why they do it. The super wealthy, we can just spend your money now. The super wealthy who spoke to New York Magazine highlighted the isolation their money can bring, how it cuts them off from us normies who cannot sympathize with their problems. You cut yourself off from us normies, you dipshits. You don't have to be cut off from people. But I get it, you know. Why would you want to deal with scum when you don't have to? If you do continue to hang out with normal or less rich people, there is the restaurant bill problem. Just hide your wealth. Just don't tell anyone you're wealthy. Just, you know. Yeah, trade her in for a newer model. That just isn't that the point of getting rich? Then when you're dribbling in your shirt and shitting yourself, she can put you in a home and ignore you. Honestly, dementia is it's a vicious a horrible thing. And not a pleasant way to go out. It seems to be running through my family quite fucking... It's quite strong in my family. Well, on some sides of my family. All the sides, I'm quite glad though, it's all the sides that I have nothing genetically in common with. So, touch wood, I don't have that genetically in common with them either. The restaurant bill problem. That is the greatest. The restaurant bill problem is the greatest problem facing us all, really. When it is set down on the table after a meal with friends of lesser means, should you split it or pay it? If you pay, your pals might think you're trying to be a big shot, but if you don't, you might look cheap. Just pay the fucking bill, dipshit. You're a billionaire. Pay the fucking bill. Just pay the bill. Or agree, you know, if one of your friends takes you out to dinner, they'll say, hey, I want to take you out to dinner. We're not going to one of your fancy restaurants. We're just going to... But just pay the fucking bill. Be a mensch. That's what the Jews say. Be a mensch. Do the mensch thing. If you're a sensitive person who doesn't want other people to feel indebted to you, you start to worry that your friends only hang out with you because you pay. In the case of many ultra-wealthy... This must be true. This must often be true. Well, you get those people, you sort them out, you suss them out, you figure out who they are, you cut them off. These people are doing this to themselves. Seriously. I get it. It's difficult. It's tricky. But you do it to yourself. Have them buy you a steak occasionally, and then you buy 10 meals, and have them buy... Just... figure this shit out. It's not that hard to be a human. It's not that hard to be a decent fucking human being. Oh, fuck these lighters. When you get a bigger house, your neighbours are further away. Oh, what a shame. That must suck. Oh, I've got to walk further to visit my neighbours who I never visit. In a nice hotel, the people that service you are going to be more polite and less personal. Oh, the horrors, said one European entrepreneur. And you don't meet anyone in a private jet. Yeah, that's the thing I've always found when I go on long-haul flights on a jet. It's the people you meet. It's the drunk guy rambling next to you. They're the real gems. Oh, yeah. No, wouldn't it suck having a private jet? Oh, terrible. The wealthy also discuss the problem of hedonic adaptation, where the fancy purchase and experiences that once gave you pleasure lose their allure on repetition. Yeah, that happens to all of us. You've got more expensive habits. Have you even tried heroin? You fucking losers. In 2011, Boston College's Center on Wealth and Philanthropy released a study of the super rich. Quaintly, back then, that meant anyone with $25 million or more. Oh, laughable. Yeah. Who are they complaining to and expecting to relate? Exactly. Oh, man. Oh, look at it. Quaintly back then, anyone with more than 25 million. Scum, basically, by today's standards. Scum! Puh. The survey respondents worried their children would become brats, but struggled to impose any normal values on them. Well, don't buy them everything they want. Teach them some fucking discipline. If they want something, get them to work for it. Like, teach them. Take the time to teach your kids. Well, what's that Simpsons thing? We've tried nothing, man, and we're all out of ideas. We try to get our kids to do chores, but they just employ people to do it. You would if you're a kid and you're getting a couple of grand a week allowance, you'd just be employing people. We try to get our kids to do chores, one survey respondent said, but it was hard to get them to mow the lawn when we have an almost full-time gardener. Yeah, we're suffering because our kids live the way we live, and we don't want to give up our luxuries. We don't want to lead by example. These people are fucked in the head, man. Monkey see, monkey do. This is a truism. This has been... I have a cleaner, so I can't get them to clean their room. Of course you can't. You've cleaners coming in. You have gardeners. Why would they... Another study, the longitudinal multi-generational Harvard study, found that being made to do chores as a kid strongly correlated with success in adulthood. So if you want your kids to be successful, you have to give up certain things that you just... This is what generational means. The guy who can literally teach others to build the same kind of wealth altruistically and do an infinite amount of good in the world. Oh no, exactly. These guys, they've built a life so that they can live a certain way, and then they have kids and they go, well, but I guess I'll just ruin my children's futures because fuck them. Because I don't want to give up any kind of comfort or convenience. Convenience is, convenience is a terrible thing that we have now. We all kind of have to deal with it. But, I mean, if you got that kind of money, just... these complaints are just, they're gems. You mowed the lawn for a sip of your dad's beer. Yeah, right? That's what they should be doing. Make your kids alcoholics at an early age. Get them addicted to alcohol and make them workaholics. Make them addicted to workahol. This is how it's done. We try to get our kids to do chores. Robert A. Kenny, a psychologist who helped design the study, ended up feeling quite sorry for some of its respondents who, he said, were just as likely as the rest of us to be good people searching for meaning. I feel for them too, in a sense. Like, they're trying to build a life. They try to build a certain level of life, but don't expect your kids to just automatically... Like, I can't feel sorry for you when you won't put in the effort to raise healthy human beings and you think they should just figure it out on their own. This has been a huge problem all throughout my life as well. It's like just this attitude of the boomer generation just going, well, I know it all, so you should figure it out. You should know it all. Like, this is boomerism. That's what it is. So I guess boomerism is just a side effect of wealth. Speaking to The Atlantic about the study, he said that sometimes I think that the only people in this country who worry more about money than the poor are the very wealthy. And I mean, you just have to look at the very wealthy. I mean, you look at them and you're like, are they happy? And you're like, yeah, they look pretty fucking happy, actually. Kenny's observations of the super wealthy forced him to conclude that wealth isn't always worthy of envy and was not worth sacrificing your life to attain. So this is another one of those articles that's just telling people to, just feel good about being poor and struggling. You should be grateful that you're paying $4 a litre at the fucking... We do this for you. This is not for us. This is for you. We do this for you. We don't want to steal your money from you. But, if I don't, someone else will. Along with the moral hazard of ultra wealth comes the moral hazard of envying or resenting ultra wealth, which, ironically, is the basic instinct that energizes the populist parties that seem to love billionaires so much, because they give them money. There's so many rich people out there that are just like, well, yeah, I'm pretty rich. I've got like $1 billion, but I know a guy that's got $2 billion, so I can't sleep at night until I've got more than him. It's like an addiction. It's like a stupid addiction. Meanwhile, their children are all addicted to drugs and torturing animals. And they're just going, well, I'd do something, but I don't want to. It's worth reminding ourselves of that, even as we suffer in cattle class and take our budget holidays, safe in the knowledge that, happily, no one loves us for our money. Oh, that gives me so much comfort. I'm so glad no one loves me for my money. I know next time I'm in fucking... next time I'm cramped into a plane on an economy, drinking a $10 cup of water, I'm going to be sitting there thinking, thank God I'm not rich. Thank God I'm not in a private jet right now. That would suck. Oh my God. I don't think I could live with it. Oh man, that was fun. That was a fun article. Oh, I could shit on the rich all day. Oh my God. Anyway. Being ultra wealthy isn't just for Jews. All right. Did I read this one before? It's across the board. Motorists driven to crime by soaring fuel prices. Let's take a look. Sydney Morning Herald. New Zealand. Oh, it's happening in New Zealand as well. It's across the board. Australian motorists driven to crime by soaring fuel prices. A spike in fuel theft of up to 50% is sweeping Australia as petrol and diesel prices hit new highs. This is the one. Anthony Albanese said it's un-Australian Fuck you, Albo. That's Australian as it gets. We're a nation of criminals. There's nothing more Australian than stealing shit. Stealing your fuel, stealing your fucking... whatever you have to steal. Most of our ancestors were sent here for stealing a loaf of bread. And also just wanting to get out of England. Like, I think what I hear about the, what I hear about the weather in England, I understand why they conquered the world. It was just to get out of England. It was just to get away from that shithole. I'm meant to be going there next year, but there might not be any flights out of Australia. China has cancelled sending us our kerosene to fuel our jets. So, I know, Rodders, are we going to make it to Thailand this year, bro? I don't know if we're going to make it. We might have to swim. Oh, man. I don't want to read a story about Australia from New Zealand. All right, here's one from The Age. Subscribe to unlock this. Oh, fuck you, Age. Subscribe to unlock this. Well, we have to read the fucking New Zealand one now. There's a picture of a 7-Eleven and the prices are locked out. They don't even have any petrol. A spike in fuel theft of up to 50% is sweeping Australia as petrol and diesel prices hit new highs and big corporates emerge as one of the major causes of service stations running dry. It's also the fact that the people that have all the fuel are sitting on it because they know the longer they sit on it, the higher the prices will go, the more profit they make. Apparently BP have a full tanker and heaps in reserve. They're just not releasing it because, if I had a bunch of bananas that last week they were $1, but this week they were $2, and it was looking like in 3 weeks they were going to be going up to $10 a banana, I'd be sticking them bananas in the freezer, quick smart. That's economics. That's smart. And if people are out there going, I can't get bananas, I have to steal bananas, I'd be going, not my problem. I'm Banana Man. It's supply and demand. My monkeys need bananas, bro. It is basic supply and demand. I love the way they're using these. The spike in fuel theft is up to 50%. Of up to 50% is sweeping Australia. So, like, if 2 people stole fuel last week and now it's 4. But they always love to use percentages that make things seem way worse than they are. Give us actual numbers. It's like, last week, Jono from Heidelberg West stole some petrol. And this week, his missus also stole some petrol. Well, they live in Heidelberg West. Piece of shit fucking suburb. One thing about, living in Heidelberg West, I will say, at least you don't have to worry that people only love you for your money. Just work harder and live in your car. You'll make it. Exactly. So, Rodders. Oh, so kids don't learn from just experiencing being wealthy. They actually need to experience some type of adversity and learn relevant skills to manifest wealth. I know, you'd expect them to learn that in school, wouldn't you? You go to school to learn adversity? No, you go to school to learn to cut your cock off. The Australian Association of Convenience Stores, which represents thousands of service stations, including 7-Eleven and BP, two of the worst fucking offenders in price gouging, by the way. BP, I never go to a BP because it's filthy. And 7-Eleven, you're getting low-grade trash filth fucking fuel, sticking all sorts of nonsense in your car, and they're getting ripped off? Oh, no. The two worst offenders of price gouging are getting ripped off. Oh, the poor bastards. That's like if I heard someone fucking bombed a fucking cash converters. I would feel something, but it would be mostly joy. Which represents thousands of service stations, including 7-Eleven and BP, said incidents of drive-offs where motorists fill up without paying had risen between 10 and 50% across the country, depending on the location. Yeah, if you're going to 7, you're going to rip them off. Rip off 7-Eleven as much as you can, and BP. Steal from them. Go to Safeway, Woolworths, steal from them as much as you can. These scumbags deserve to have all their shit ripped off. Like, you know, allegedly. Allegedly, we should all be stealing as much as we can from Coles and Woolworths and 7-Eleven. Allegedly. Allegedly is probably one of my favourite words. You can say anything. Allegedly, we should be murdering politicians. Allegedly. Surging fuel crime is also being driven by the rising cost of living. According to the association's chief executive, Theo Fuka, with service station cameras revealing many of the thieves are first-time offenders. Oh, because they did it stupid. They didn't cover up their license plates. That's how they know they're first-time offenders. Look at this idiot. He did not cover up. He did not wear a mask. What a stupid. Fuck you, bloody. Fuck you, bloody. Fuck you. That's the 7-Eleven attendant. It's interesting they're covering stories of, like this whole story is about how people are stealing from those poor corporations. Oh, those poor corporations are being stolen from. They're mentioning in, I can't remember the suburb it was Kyneton, I think. Up where I go regularly, up in Mildura, it was actually Redcliffs. They've run out of fuel altogether. Farmers have run out of mid-sowing crops and mid-harvesting. Some people, I mean, up where I'm from, they've all finished that. They finished the harvest ages ago. And you wouldn't be sowing yet anyway. You'd be, you know, it's kind of happened at a good time for them. But other farmers and stock farmers, they're fucked because they're just out of diesel. There's no fucking diesel. Normally people that do fuel drive-offs do them all the time, fucker said. But now it's across the board and it varies from young girls to mums to tradies to older people. Good, everyone's getting in on it. This is brilliant. It'll be like hearing a bank court fight. Yeah, exactly. Exactly like here. Let's go to the monitor so you guys can see this. One service station operator that runs 6 stores in Western Sydney reported its typical monthly fuel loss of about $4,000 had spiked to $10,000 since February 28, when the Iran war choked off oil supply from the Middle East and sent petrol and diesel prices soaring. Well, how much is that to do with the rising prices anyway? I mean, the price has gone up by over a third. So, again, these figures don't really tell us a lot. Anyway. steal as much from right now. It's the time to steal from them, because you go to court and you'll just be like, it was the Holocaust. I did it because of the Holocaust. News about Donald Trump. Houthi rebels enter Iran with missile strike on Israel. Well, I really didn't want to talk about them, but on Saturday, Israel's military detected a missile launch from Yemen toward its territory. The first such attack since the war began on February 28. Air defense systems intercepted the projectile, with no immediate reports of casualties. So the Iron Dome is still working at close range for things like, short missiles, but it's not working against long-range missiles, because they took out the eyes of the Iron Dome, and also they're being hit with hypersonic missiles, and those ones that, what do you call them? They turn into, they turn into like 1,000 missiles. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels claimed responsibility through military spokesman Brigadier General Yeeha Sari. What a great name. Brigadier General Yeeha Sari. I'm probably saying that wrong. Saying the operation targeted sensitive Israeli military positions in response to continued strikes on Iran and its allies. Simultaneously, Iranian forces struck Saudi Arabia's Prince Sultan Air Base with 6 ballistic missiles and 29 drones on Friday, wounding at least 15 U.S. service members, including 5 seriously. The assault damaged refueling aircraft. Well, there you go. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Friday the U.S. expects to conclude military objectives. How often are they going to just complete? We're finished. We're done. Oh, the war's still going? Well, we'll blow some more shit up. Unfortunately, all their shit's underground. You can't get at it. Oh, man, there's another story here. Where did I see it? Let me see. There's a story that's just basically saying the Iranians are saying welcome to hell. Yeah. Tehran Times warns US troops welcome to hell as Pentagon weighs ground deployment. They've been pulling in like non-combat soldiers and like the people that are supposed to stay home and defend it. They're just pulling everyone in. They've raised the like they keep saying, "Oh no, we're not going to bring in the draft." But just in case we have to, we've raised the age to 42. Oh, mate. What happened? The Pentagon is considering deploying up to 10,000 additional troops to the Middle East within striking distance of Iran, joining 3,500 personnel already in the region. Iran's Tehran Times responded with a front page, "Welcome to hell," warning that US troops on Iranian soil would leave only in a coffin. Iran has some of the most inhospitable, like where they would have to deploy to, where they would bivouac, is some of the most, some of the worst deserts you could be in. That's why I had they call it Operation Epic Fury, but I call it Operation Epic Furry. I just thought it was funny, the idea of them sending in a bunch of furries into the world's most inhospitable deserts that reach, temperatures of over 50 degrees centigrade on a daily basis. It's all these people dressed in like wolf outfits and a possum, and they're just dying because it's so hot. Operation Epic Furry. I can't find this story. It says Daily Briefing. Microbots, I've seen that one, but Trump says CIA briefed him on Supreme Leader's sexuality. That's what they go to every time. CIA says Supreme Leader is gay. That's the whole point of the story. He's gay. CIA told me he's gay. Anyway. Drone attack targets Kurdistan president residence in Duhok. Oh, Thailand will have a new government by next week, apparently. That's kind of interesting. Where did I see that story? Let's see if I can find it. So Thailand are going to have a new... Thailand, here we go. Thailand will have new government next week, PM says. Thai Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul. I'll just call him Anakin. Thai Prime Minister Anakin Skywalker said Thailand will have a new government next week, with a new cabinet list to be submitted for royal approval on March 30. The new government plans to quickly deliver a policy statement to Parliament and address issues around rising oil prices, including tax cuts and support measures and cheaper hose. Aniston apologised for turmoil caused by oil price management in early March and said Thailand currently has 100 days worth of oil reserves. Oh, you'll be right, 100 days, no worries, it'll all be over then. It'll be all over in 100 days. So they've just, yeah. Let's just get a new government in here, shall we? What is this? Trump extends pause on attack. Trump extends pause on attacking Iran energy facilities to April 6, says talks with Tehran going very well. According to Tehran, they're not talking to him at all. But, you know, I guess when Donald Trump just sits there talking to himself, he considers that a win. Why wouldn't you? That is a win for him. Awesome. On Thursday, he's just going to keep extending this until, I don't know, Netanyahu says, we have to strike now. They're 2 weeks away from having clean water. They're even more 2 weeks away from having nukes. On Thursday, President Donald Trump announced a 10-day extension to the pause on strikes against Iranian energy infrastructure, setting a new deadline of April 6, 2026. Washington delivered a 15-point peace framework via Pakistani intermediaries, though Iranian officials initially dismissed the proposal as one-sided and unfair. Iran maintains its de facto control over the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of global oil flows, keeping the waterway effectively closed and driving Brent crude prices up to more than 40%. Yeah, Brent's been... But Brent and crude have split. I've been trading oil a little bit from time to time because might as well war profiteer. You know, we should all be profiteering off this war as much as we can. It's the American way. But Brent and crude have completely split. But they also keep dumping the market. They do, like, they're dumping the market so quickly and so regularly now because they can't afford to keep paying out all these wins. So you watch it, it's going up, 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 and then it will drop like dramatically. Like it dropped $10 the other day, which would wipe out so many buyers. So many people would have got margin called. So many people would have closed their positions on losses. They would have been up thousands of dollars. And within seconds, they are suddenly thousands in debt, close to being margin called, and a lot of people would have been margin called. And they keep doing this. Like, if you ever needed more evidence that the entire fucking stock market is artificial and just absolute bullshit, like right now you can see it's so fucking obvious. The way they manipulate these prices, it is fucking absurd. Iran maintains its de facto control over the Strait of Hormuz. Amid the diplomatic efforts, Israel reported killing IRGC naval commander Commodore Alireza Tangsiri. Alireza Tangsiri. Why? I'll just call him John. Commodore Jim. I'll call him Jim. IRGC naval commander Commodore Jim, Iranian guy. While authorities confirmed more than 1,900 deaths in Iran and over 1,100 in Lebanon. So, numbers coming out. Sounds like Israel's doing okay with as far as killing people. Also sounds like Iran, they're doing well, but they're struggling to get those death numbers up. Come on, Iran, get your numbers up. I got money on you. Trump claimed during a cabinet meeting that Iran is begging. They're begging to make a deal. Through foreign ministries, Abbas Araghchi denied Tehran is engaging in any direct talks. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, everything is bullshit. It's kind of amazing that Trump just comes out and says, they're begging us for a deal. Begging us. And Iran just comes out and goes, we're not even talking to you. You ever been in one of those relationships? Like with some chick, or if you're a chick, some guy, and they just gaslight you all the time? Trump is the world's greatest gaslighter. He's just so good at it. You're begging me to make a deal. I'm not even talking to you. You're begging me. Stop begging. It's embarrassing. Frankly, it's embarrassing. I will extend the negotiation deadline. You can suck my dick in 6 days. Unreal. What a fun time to be alive. It's just such a fun fucking time to be alive. Melbourne News. It's just Melbourne News. It's just all football. Unbelievable. It's just, the Bombers is going to have a bad year. Yeah. I think I covered this. They haven't had a good year in a long time. Trump says Iran let 10 oil ships through Strait of Hormuz as present to the US. No matter what they do, Trump's just going to be like, they did that for us because they love us. Secretly, they're still into us. I know they said never to call them again, but secretly, they're still into us. I see them liking my statuses. I see them liking my updates. Trump is funny, but he used to be funny, haha. Like you could laugh with him at stuff. You could laugh because he was clever. Now you just kind of laugh because he's fucking an insane boomer that's out of his head, just doing insane shit, and he's just completely deluded. So now we just laugh at him, but he is still funny. China launches world first floating deep sea research island in Shanghai. Republic of Congo Constitutional Court confirms leader Sassou Nguesso's election win and 5th term. A 5th term, wow. Israeli military kills 15-year-old Palestinian in West Bank, Health Ministry says. They can't stop themselves. Like, it's like what they do on weekends. Well, you've got the weekend off. You've had a hard week of killing people. Now that you got the weekend off, go kill some Palestinians. Relax. Kill some kids. Blow some steam off. Humpback whale freed by rescuers in Baltic Sea has become stranded again. You just can't help some people. All right. Wales, Germany. Let's flick over so you can get a look at this. Oh man, this is nuts. Humpback whale freed by rescuers in Baltic Sea has become stranded again. On Saturday, a humpback whale became stranded again in Wismar Bay after failing to navigate back to the Atlantic Ocean, despite being freed from Timmendorfer Strand earlier in the week. I think that animal is suicidal. Experts suggest the mammal may have lost its way while pursuing a shoal of herring during migration, though its presence in the Baltic Sea remains unclear. The 12 to 15 meter whale, it's just trying to get on land. It's sick of the ocean. It's cold, it's wet, you're all phlegmy all the time. It wants out. And you just keep pushing it back in the ocean. Back you go, little fella, and it just right up on another beach. Greenpeace confirmed the new stranding on Saturday, though a spokesperson for the Mecklenburg-Pomerania Environment Ministry stated it remains unknown if authorities will mount another rescue attempt. Yeah, give up on it. It's like, once is an accident, twice, it's up to something. And, we've seen what happens when you let strangers into your country. If you let that whale into your country, it'll start raping. Whale rape. And that's the worst kind of rape, honestly. U.S. appeals court overturns $16 billion judgment over Argentina energy company nationalization. Goodo. Oh, wow, what do we got here? UK's Starmer warns things will change on social media. All right, let's see what they're up to. The Prime Minister said addictive social media features should not be allowed, warning that the next generation would not forgive the government if it did not act. Yes, the next generation will not forgive us for the memes that we fail to censor. A landmark court case in the US saw a jury find Meta and Google liable for a woman's childhood social media addiction, awarding her $4.4 million in damages. I've been damaged by social media. I've been so damaged. They owe me some money. Let's start a class action. What do you say? Let's all be damaged by social media. Let's all face the fact that we've all been damaged by social media. You heard the whale was Gina Reinhardt. Yeah. Exactly. It was too. She's a Bitcoin whale. That'd be funny if it was a Bitcoin whale. Starmer tells social media companies things will change on addictive features. Yeah, what the hell? What is this? News from Lessico Ma. I don't know what the hell this is. Starmer signals UK action to restrict addictive social media features. Senegal parades Africa Cup trophy in Paris as it appeals CAF decision to strip title. Venezuela. Consequences of climate inaction. The consequences are nothing happened. Because they're still dropping depleted uranium all around the world and letting off huge bombs, but we're having too long showers. That's the real problem. You know, if you'd all, you selfish bastards out there, if you'd all keep your showers to 90 seconds and use recycled plastic bags, they could drop more bombs. They could kill more people. The US Army is the biggest polluter on the planet. They're not stopping them. These fucks. It's time we were more revolting. That's what I say. We need to revolt more. Kim Jong-un oversees test of upgraded solid fuel missile engine and new tank. Good on ya, Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-uno. Kim Jong-uno reverse card. USS Tripoli embarks on 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit arrive in Middle East. Pentagon preparing for weeks of ground operations in Iran, Washington Post reports. The Pentagon is preparing plans for weeks of ground operations in Iran, which will mainly involve dodging drones. Operations in Iran involving thousands of US troops, described as an escalation but not a full-scale invasion. It's just an escalation. The ground operations could include seizing Karg Island and raiding coastal areas near the Strait of Hormuz to destroy weapons targeting ships with timelines estimated at weeks to a couple of months. They've essentially opened the Strait of Hormuz, just not to America. So they're letting people through. They're just charging them like $2 million a ship or something like that. Which, you know, that's what all these other places do. So they should as well. These operations would expose personnel to threats such as drones, missiles, ground fire, and explosives. The White House stated planning is to provide options for the president, and experts caution prolonged troop presence in confined areas would be risky due to Iranian attacks. Well, yeah, you are going to get Iranian attacks if you go and fucking invade Iran. Trump will come out and say, it's not fair. They fought back. It's not fair, honestly. No, I said it before. I'll say it again. Trump has inspired me, you know. He saw the Iranian leadership as an existential threat, and so he killed them. And I think we need to start killing leaders who we see as an existential threat to us. Anyway, I gotta go eat some food. So I'll see you guys later. It's been a blast as always. Love yous.